all the time, and that is his nature. Thank you. I think my duty is always very simple, is to recognize those who are within this particular forum today. So as I call the Sacco's name, I request to be upstanding for our head count. Thank you. I think my brother Zero will assist in the head count. Winners Sacco. Team from Winners, Chairman. These are 4. 0. Asante. Transalite County. The source of chairman. Chairman, how many are you? You are 3. CEO is on the way coming. Sorry? Okay. So these are 3, 0 or 4. Thank you. Asante Bwana Chairman. Mentor. Chairman, your team. You are 5. Thank you. Univision, Reverend.
Yes, we are supposed to be full house here, just somewhere.
Somewhere arriving? Full house. Okay, full house. Emarika, Banaziro Chairman. Full house, thank you. Investor Negro. We have 4. Is the CEO? It's on the way coming, so we are fine. He'll be joining us. Tower. Tower. I know they are on the way, Bwana Chairman. We got communication from the chair. I think they had a commitment back at home, but they'll be joining us. Transnation Time, Sacco. The basket of Kenya. Chairman, your team.
We are 4.
You are 4. Thank you. Take that count. 0. Solution. Brother Brady. Chairman.
We are 5.
You are 5. Thank you. Tabasam. You are 5. And C4 physically. The chairman. Oh, he has just gone up to the phone. I've been shown the phone. Thank you. Not to show is around. Thank you. See you on the chat. All in. Namungo. 1 in. Olin is 1 in. Thank you. Marisha. I saw the chairman and the team here, strong team. Hold on. Full house. Thank you, Bwana Chairman. Transnation Sacco. Chairman, the team. Full house. Thank you. Mwalimu National. Chairman, Brother Joe. You are 4. Full house? CEO, you are full house? Thank you. It's noted, Bwana Chairman. Asante. Cosmopolitan. So the chairman and the team. You are 4. Thank you. Mafanikio. Shanti, full house. Thank you. Karibuni sana. Bosi Mwalimu. You are 4. Thank you. Jumuisha, where are you? You are 2. Thank you. Orient. Chairman Yusuf. Full house. Thank you, Bwana Chairman. Ekopila. Sacco. Full house. A chairman and team. Thank you. Asante. Sulu, are you in the house? Mkiwa tunapata suluhisho. Asante Bwana Chairman. Full house. Kwetu is K. I think we have the apology manager. They have a commitment back at home. Boresha. Also we have an apology from them. New Fortis. Not in the house. Top Creek. Not in the house. Kwetu with Q. Not in the house. I did. Not in the house. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. Asante.
Good elaborate introduction. However, I would also want to call upon those who might be attending KETSA Forum for the first time. If you are attending KETSA Forum for the first time, please arise. Is it one or there is one who was up but went down? Karibu. It's important. Karibu hapa juu. Tusalamie, tuambiwe ni nani, tukujue, tukukaribishe. Kweli? Asante.
Thank you, Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
I am Roger Swaswa, the Vice Chair, Investment Group. Thank you.
Yeah, that is my new principal assistant. That is Jessica.
Very well. Thank you so much. Vice Chair being part of this gathering. It's a gathering of equals. We come here and discuss our issues as equals and chart our way forward as equals, because as like teachers' SACCOs, teachers are the light of the nation. And so we must shine for the rest to have somewhere to benchmark. And our purpose of being here is to ensure that we shine. We shine together so that we can give the rest of the SACCOs in the nation somewhere to benchmark. References to make. And so I call upon in this 2-day workshop, we maximally live. We engage ourselves. We network amongst ourselves. We share experiences among ourselves so that we can pick from each other best practices that we want to carry home. That is the essence of our gathering for the 2 days, and I'm sure we shall get a lot of that time to do that. In the afternoons, we shall create an environment for networking, for exchanging ideas, for looking into issues in depth, for knowing what has made you succeed from that edge and the other edge. So eventually, we will have made a nation of SACCOs spearheaded and led by teachers in the front, teacher SACCOs in the front, and the rest following. Thank you so much for coming. And in our midst is our senior Sacco 1. Our senior Sacco 1. Our senior Sacco 1 has walked us the journey from the time when we were not even crewing, when we could not do anything on our own. He held our hand, ensured that we get resources to ensure that we are in existence. And for the longest, they have done it and continue doing it. Even this time around, I want to make a very clear convention that we had felt shy of bringing in a program within a very short time. Tukasema tujivije, lakini our Sacco 1 always sees us and skillfully walking rosters without shouting much. Tukasema ndio, this time tulikuwa tukujulishe in another event ahead. Akasema there is no big event and a small event when it comes to SACCOs seated together. Sacco 1, karibu and open this forum, and we are really grateful. We are really grateful for your concern, for your continuous ensuring that SACCOs in this country start. Karibu sana.
Hey, Chairman, that was quite an introduction. Good morning.
Good morning.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe.
Amen.
Hamjambo nyinyi wote. Thank you. I can see my senior director is here, Nyoro from Coast. Chairman Gidani, Vice Chairman Kia, your Treasurer and Honorary Secretary, the delegates, the chair of the CEO Council, and our own CEO, Madam Ivy, all the invited guests from all over. I'm delighted this morning to join the KETSA fraternity. As Chairman has said, I think I have worked with KETSA from when you are a small entity, when you started as a baby, when you are making your first steps, until now you have grown into a reputable and very strong association of our teacher SACCOs in the country. I can tell you, Chairman, that you are now the light of our sector. First of all, in your respective individual teacher SACCOs, where you come from, I think teacher SACCOs have exemplified the correct model of what successful cooperative entity and more so Sacco entity should be like. And therefore, when the association has come of age to be what it is today, we are very proud of you. Everyone is talking about KETSA. If you looked at the official structure of the cooperative sector in Kenya that appeared in the SACCO report, and they came up with the nomenclature or the structure of the cooperative sector. For the first time, KETSA has appeared in that structure. So you can come on when you want to do it. KETSA is now appearing in the structure of how the cooperative sector in Kenya is structured. And the name KETSA appears there. You have taken a position. As the chairman was talking about teachers being the light of the world, I was also reflecting. And I remembered somebody told me that even our own Christ, the Savior, in the Bible, out of the 90 times that people addressed him directly, 60 of those 90 times they called him teacher. They might have called him many other names, Lord, Christ, but 60 times they called him teacher. And the multitudes, the disciples, and everyone would always come to Jesus and say, teacher. People like them and ask him, teacher, can you explain to us what you have said? And even Jesus himself at one time said, you call me teacher, correctly so, and therefore I am a teacher. That shows that other than the sentiments that we talk about, the profession that you serve being a noble profession is a profession that carries with itself prestige. Therefore, when I was invited, sometimes last week, and I was told that you'll be meeting for your annual delegates meeting. I said I would like to come. And the chairman is correct when he says that I got wind that there will be such a meeting. And I know how to send emissaries. When I want the message to get where it's supposed to get, I did that deliberately so that it can get the ears of the chairman, our CEO, Madam Joyce, and even Ivy, that I am aware that it will be converging. And I'm wondering why I have not received an invite. So thank you very much for inviting me. It's such a I'm reflecting on the things that are affecting our industry and what we need to do to move forward, because I understand that the focus for KETSA this year will be absolutely on risk management, focusing on risk management, which is a very good aspect of our business. And therefore for me, today, I want to just reflect on some of the things that even we in the banking sector are looking at, so that you're able to connect and see in your respective businesses, in your focus at KETSA, what is it that also you can be able to do differently. I'll speak about the main issue that is affecting the financial services sector, which is of course the issue of the non-performing loans, the issue of the increasing PER. It is a problem and a menace that is affecting our sector. The banking industry, as you're aware, NPL levels have been gone up to about now 16.7. Some banks are reporting NPLs of 18%, 19%. Blaming all that on the situation that was there last year of high interest rates, the hard economic environment that we're operating in as a nation. But even for you, SACCOs, discussing with the SACCO team and the returns that they have been able to analyze now, there are also incidences whereby there is increasing NPL in the SACCO subsector, especially SACCOs that have been able to diversify their membership, coming from the passive, focusing on passive members or members who are employed, diversifying business enterprises. A number of SACCOs are reporting increased NPLs. So it's something we need to deal with, and I'm hoping that even as we continue, I think some of the topics that KETSA will be able to administer to our delegates, our members, is the whole aspect of how do we prudently and continuously monitor our non-performing loans. Because you can imagine, you can give out all the money, good money out there, and this is money that belongs or is savings from your members, deposit from your members. If you don't lend it prudently, using the policies that you have put in place, ensuring that your staff are well trained, ensuring that your proper roles and people that are able to follow up payment, then you will be there acting like somebody who went to fetch water, and they are fetching water with a vessel or a container that has holes. So by the time they fetch water from the river, when half the vessel is empty. So we need to be careful and continue emphasizing the whole aspect of NPL management. Those of you who sit in the board of your respective SACCOs, I think it should concern you that you have ways of getting reports and tracking the whole aspect of not only the portfolio at risk, but also that which that you have defined as non-performing loans, classified in that category, and requiring from management a very detailed action plan on what they are doing to ensure that recovery of loans is happening. The other thing, I think, as we continue to mobilize savings and deposits, we are continuously seeing that some SACCOs, if you look at the loan to deposit ratio, it used to be, in most SACCOs, used to be at 100% plus. Of course, the ideal 90% plus. But now we are seeing a number of SACCOs also struggling in terms of loan-to-deposit ratio. And this communicates directly now to the whole aspect of you going for external borrowing, not being able to mobilize adequate savings and deposits to support your lending business. So when you look at your book, your balance sheet, and you're seeing that your loans are increasingly growing faster, or they are more than your deposits. I think that is something that you need to worry about as a director leading a SACCO, and you need to ensure that if you are not 100% plus, at least you are 90% and above in terms of loans to deposit ratio. We also looking at the whole aspect of liquidity. The foster business, or when you are a deposit taking SACCO, you are accepting deposits, savings from your members. Some of them are withdrawn. Your members continuously will come those deposits at will. They can use them, and now that you have given them, they can use the mobile, they can use the ATM, and other channels to access their funds. So if you're not managing your liquidity positions well, the only thing that can bring down a financial institution is not even the issue of loss making. You can report loss for 2-3 years and still survive. But if you have liquidity crunch, even for a day or 2 days, as a deposit taking SACCO, you are in for a big trouble. The saddest day is the day a member comes and wants to access their funds, and your force outlets don't have that liquidity to support the deposit demand. That is what can easily bring down a SACCO. So if there is anything you need to protect and safeguard as a board member, as a CEO of the SACCO, I think is to continuously see to it that your liquidity, both as it is today and the projections, you are adequately covered, and to ensure that if you are the CEO, one of the reports that you should be seeking on a daily basis is the liquidity position of the SACCO. The first thing you look at as a CEO when you get to the office is to know the liquidity position and the projection. In the bank, we do something called stress testing. And stress testing is where we look at, we're holding deposits belonging to the public. And those deposits, people can come for their money anytime they feel like it. You don't tell somebody, don't come for your money today, please give me time, come for it. So our stress testing methodology, we look at the top 20 depositors, or the top 20 depositors we hold at the bank. And the question we ask ourselves in the Asset and Liability Committee, and something that the treasurer of the bank looks at, is every day to ask ourselves, if the top 20 depositors came for their money that day, like today now, are we going to be able to avail to them the funds? And I can tell you, as of yesterday, in Cooperative Bank, the top 20 depositors in the bank, we were holding 104 billion. 104 billion from the top 20 depositors. If they came today and said, Papa, we want our money, we must avail to them those funds. And I can tell you, for example, the funds out of the deposit we hold, the only liquid cash we hold at the bank, maybe in Central Bank, is about, every cycle is different, but we have about 20 billion of cash in Central Bank. Of course, the rest of the money is out there in the branches, some few other billions, but the most amount of money is there with people as loans. But where we get comfort as an institution is the amount of money we are holding in government bonds and treasury bills. That is the money that gives us comfort that if today we came comfortably knowing that those people came for their money today. We have about 50 billion with us, we have another 20 billion in central bank, but we can easily liquidate. We can easily liquidate the treasury bonds and give out those people their deposits without winking. And we ask ourselves, if we operate, our statutory requirement for liquidity ratio is 20% as a bank. We operate at a liquidity of 57 to 60% at any given time. The question we ask ourselves, if those people came for their money, our liquidity ratio would drop from what it was. And we are comfortable because if 1 or 4 billion left the bank today, our liquidity position will drop from 58% to that 4%, would still be above the statutory requirement. But you know what we will not do? We will not be lending at the bank because our direction give out loans when our liquidity get 40%. Those are the metrics we have set. We say that the bank, anytime our liquidity will get to 40%, we stop lending. We start now, when you apply for a loan, you look for a permanent list. So I say, you do not indicate the name or the address of the Sacco properly in your letter. Go and correct. You buy it, that's another one. You call, and I don't pick your call. But if you're calling, come on, for 3 long, you don't borrow. But that time you call, I tell the chairman, I'll call you back. Because I know you're chasing that road. And we manage that crisis by way of closing the lending. Now, I have no collection report when, I think around 2014, 2015, there's a kind of grant in the industry. I think it's when our liquidity was about 42, 43. And that time we were slowing lending. Actually, we were only lending to SACCOs. We were not lending to the other no business enterprises. We went slow with lending. So we track that because liquidity is key. We can stop lending and maybe report in our financial statement to report a smaller growth, even a decline in profitability. That one cannot make you close a bank. But if liquidity is not well supported, when people have doubts on whether their deposits with you are safe, that is what can close the institution. So we monitor when our liquidity goes to around 49, 48, we go all out to look for deposits. We give even high returns for the deposits. We aggressively go out to look for those deposits. We can even pay a premium so that we make sure that at every time we are operating at a liquidity position of 57 and above. So I will urge the CEOs who are here, liquidity tracking is key. The management, the board of directors, in your day, every month when you are meeting, one of the reports you need to ask is how is our liquidity position, how are we moving, and even in your conversation with the CEO, once in a while, if you are a treasurer of the Sacco, you can, if it does not harm, in you asking the CEO, how is our liquidity? Are we okay? How is the position? You know, so that you don't get yourself into aggressive lending when you don't have the raw material that supports your lending. Then the other thing, I think as an industry that we need to look at is the whole issue of reputational issue. It's something, especially now, our industry has received a lot of negative publicity. There has been a lot of negative publicity across some media houses, and our reputation is at stake as an industry. What I want to urge as leaders of KETSA, because you are a good example, you are a good model, you must be able to use all available platforms that you have to advocate and to talk the positive things of our sector, and to ensure that the reputation that we have always had in this country is something that we will maintain. Even in our individual circles, we must be very careful on the reputation. And reputation means, how do you carry yourself as a board member? How do your staff carry themselves? If your staff members are there and they are, I know Friday SACCOs, people dress down. Somebody is on a winner's shirt, very well known in the town where they operate, but in the local club, they are the ones now standing on the table, dancing. We need to ask ourselves, what kind of reputation? We are not saying that people should not have their social life, but we need to instill in our staff that when we are out there, when we are carrying our businesses, people are looking at us, and our reputation is at risk. The other kind of risks that are associated with the business that we do. With the social media now, the way information is flowing, one of the things we need to invest in, and I've said this before, we need to have within our SACCOs what we are calling the social media monitoring team. Not just one person. We need to have a team of 3 people who should be able to always be on the look. Anytime your SACCO or a SACCO official is being mentioned somewhere in a social media, we should very quickly be able to have a mechanism of moving in very quickly and arresting the situation, so that we do not have information circulating very quickly across the world talking negatively about your SACCO and you have no response. So what you need to invest in as a SACCO is in good PR and communication resource, whether as a person or you're resource to a company, so that anytime you're managing a crisis, a public issue crisis, you'll be able to know how to respond. It's something that SACCOs need to invest in. If you're a SACCO the size of IT, I think it's high time, Chairman here, you need to have a PR communication expert sitting in your SACCO, or you outsource a company to be your PR communication resource, so that when there is an issue, those are experts who know how to respond, they know how to handle it. As we make investments, because a number of SACCOs here have additional liquidity and all that, it behoves on us to be very sure where we invest in members' funds. Are we putting members' funds in the right places? We have had experiences, we have learned lessons. I have told SACCOs that when you are putting money, even in other banks and all that, there is a simple formula that we use, because even we as a bank, we either lend to other banks or we invest in the other banks. But one of the things that we use, one of the methods that we use is a simple method called Camel, the first C, we look at what is the capital adequacy of that institution. And for banks, that information is published every quarter. So, if you are sitting there as a treasurer, signing money going to an institution, be sure that your finance manager or whoever made that decision, they have told you where we are taking our money, what is the capital adequacy level of that institution, so that you think. So then, they are not operating on the margin. They are not listed in public information that some banks, almost 13 banks, were mentioned that their capital adequacy levels are not sufficiently well. It is public information. It came out in the newspaper. I'm not talking badly about any institution. But before, just check, not just that were mentioned, but even the ones that were not mentioned, how adequate is their capital levels. The next, the letter A is on asset quality. Seek information. What is the NPL level of that institution? What is their loans to deposit ratio? What is their PR? Have they been in the news? You know, being said that they lend money. If you know of a bank where the CEO approves loans, you need to think twice. I can tell you, in Bank, our CEO has more business approving loans. Even if you go to Kotamuriu, and many people go to him, he has never said, give this person a loan. If you're a Sacco or a cooperative, Dr. Muriuki marks it to me and asks me, direct the cooperatives, review and advise. You write to another business director, review and advise. If you advise him and tell him, this person is not qualified because of 1, 2, 3, he will tell you, write to the customer and advise them as such. He has no authority to approve any loan. And that's why sometimes I see people, you know, rush into the big office and I tell them, they don't want to do really about it. So those structures must be in place. So I'm assuming even if you don't Sacco, you don't have a very powerful CEO, chairman, who says approved. I'm hoping Joyce, you don't say approved. What are you going to say approved? Then the credit person and the other. So management structure. They look at the earnings, they pay, you know, do they pay dividends, do they, the investors, they're earning something, how are the prices of their stocks and all that. And then L is the liquidity. If you look at the financial statements of any bank that reports every quarter, na sasa hivi report hata leo kuna wale wameweka gazeti. Enda pale chini after wameweka the P&L, wanaekanga ratios, kuangalia liquidity. Wanasema liquidity yetu ni 40, statutory ni 20, the margin above the statutory 20. Wengine wanasema 60, statutory requirement is 20, they are above the statutory requirement by 40. That is a same place. So you must look at these things so that even in the future when people ask you, how did you make this decision? You will say we take it all the boxes. And that's how the board we supported this. Finally, there is the issue of the cyber threat that continues to face us. We need to ensure that, and I've told the board of directors that please allocate adequate resources to your ICT teams when they come to you for budget allocation, either to do system reviews, forensic audits of your systems, allocate budget without fear. Our biggest budget spend as a bank today is the spending that they do on IT every year. In excess of, you know, 20, in excess of 4 billion in the time. Every year, they spend 4 billion on IT issues, whether we are grading systems or managing the threats that are there. We are allocating that budget every year on IT. It's a big spend. I see SACCOs when I come to ATMs or ATMs, and I look at the kind of budget you are allocating to IT. Sometimes I feel very sorry. 4 million, 5 million for a Sacco with an asset base of 13 billion, 10 billion, allocating 5 million, 10 million to ICT. It is a disservice. You must be deliberate because one of the things you need to ensure you're doing, even if it's twice a year, is a comprehensive, independent forensic audit of your systems. Don't use one vendor. This time you with this vendor, next time you with this other vendor, in terms of the forensic audit. Make sure that you're not allowing your vendors, and I've seen many SACCOs are allowing their vendors to include so much in your systems. You know, pay access, remote access the systems, Zen. And I've organized a forum where I'll call the ICT managers and officers in your SACCOs and some CEOs so that we tell them some of the risks that we are seeing happening in SACCOs. I will not emphasize on that. I know many people have spoken to you about the issue of the cyber security, but it is something we have to be deliberate, ladies and gentlemen. We have to allocate resources without fear, so that every year, the minimum I expect from a number of SACCOs here that are presented here, minimum budget for ICT should be 20 million and above. Every year, that is money you should comfortably chairman allocate without even thinking twice on ICT. So that you can adequately, even if you have a system that is working, your teams need to upgrade some of the security functions. They need to conduct forensic audit and ensure that your firewalls are up to date, that they cannot be penetrated, and many other improvements. So thank you very much. I know you have today, tomorrow, and so you'll be doing now the 8 p.m. itself, but I am sure the presenters that have lined up will speak to you on a number of topical issues on risk management, on how you can become better in terms of managing your SACCOs. I wish you well in your deliberation, and I look forward to joining you again. Thank you very much. I now declare this session officially open.